Spin-Off Productions Limited were invited to deliver a whole-rounded project with Oldfleet Primary School in support of the 2007 bicentenary celebrations of William Wilberforce. Based upon our vast experience in Hull and East Riding schools, we decided to present a musical entitled What Price Freedom, and to engage with the entire school by delivering workshops that would be both thought-provoking and inspirational to the pupils.
My name's Griff Lewis. I'm an actor from Spin-Off Theatre. We've been working here at Oldfleet Primary School for the past month on a production called What Price Freedom. We came in for the first 3 weeks, once a week workshopping with the children, showing them how slavery was back in Wilberforce's time and how we're still affected by modern slavery today.
We started with the foundation level children who enjoyed learning about the sort of things children in other countries may do. They learned the story of Hand of Surprise and took part in an African-themed song and dance. In Year 2, the children looked at the history of cotton and how slaves worked the land in the Americas to produce the cloth. A cloth print workshop has resulted in the students creating some fantastic designs.
Pauline Stannard, I've been working with Year 3 today. We've been looking at village life in Africa, looking at the jobs that people in the villages would have done, and talking about how they worked in their own homes, planting things for themselves, growing food for themselves, and then how the awful things happened when they were captured as slaves and taken away across the sea and forced to work for other people and not paid any money.
Year 3 found out about the strong influence that music had on the slaves and how they made simple instruments and sang and played to keep their spirits up. The students also made instruments and had a thumping good time during their drum workshop. Workshops examining the life of Wilberforce and the meaning behind the words pride, belief, freedom and change were undertaken by Years 4 and 5. They looked at the reasons behind the slave trade, the produce and the triangular route taken to achieve it.
The last week we've been spending intensively rehearsing a musical production. The children have worked extremely hard. They've been portraying the slaves as they were during the 18th and 19th centuries, right the way up to modern day slavery, showing how children are still used across in countries like India and Africa, bonded slaves, chattel slaves. The children have been fantastic. They've had to deal with an awful lot of complicated music, complicated moves, and they've shown a real depth of understanding of the subject as well, which has been very, very rewarding for us. We felt it was important for children to understand how slavery still affects us in the world today. So we did a number of exercises. For example, we asked them to become 4 different political groups. Each group had to express their feelings about why they wished to abolish slavery, why they wished to keep slavery, why they were not bothered about slavery, or how they felt about being slaves. The children showed an incredible depth of knowledge and depth of feeling as well on these subjects. We then had them all pushed together onto the staging in the centre of the hall. We started off with a dozen or so children, brought in another dozen, and then another dozen. They became more and more packed, back to back, with their arms bound together, to show how awful it was on the slave ships back in the 18th century. I think they were quite astounded at the conditions that they had to put up with back then. Then we then had some more discussion about modern slavery. They came up with a number of ideas about what they thought modern slavery entailed and how it affected us in our lives today.
Could you tell me what the best thing was this afternoon about performing?
I think it was when we was walking around doing the songs, because when we was walking around I liked to do the singing.
I think it went quite well, and the best bit I liked really about it was the drumming, because when we could do the loud noises, everyone jumped down to where we was performing about the drums.
I thought it was quite good because the parents came and it was quite exciting doing it today.
I enjoyed the drumming the most because It was exciting because last time we did the drums was in year 2 and we hadn't done them for like 4 years.
How did you get to this point of the play? Did you learn lines at home or was you working with Griff and Emily?
I was learning lines at home, my lines in the songs, and most of the time I was working with Griff and Emily.
What did you enjoy about the play today?
I enjoyed it all, and I enjoyed the way so many of you were involved, and you really brought out how horrid slavery is. I learned what a good man he was, and how he went on trying for years and years to get rid of the slave trade.
And also he didn't give up when he couldn't do it, he just fighted and that's how he did it.
Hopefully they have enjoyed learning about the diverse cultures of lives outside their own and can recognise the tremendous steps that have been taken in order for us to live as we do now, free. Most of all, we hope this has been a memorable and exciting experience for all the pupils, but also not forgetting that not all people are so fortunate. Not all people are free, even now.
William Wilberforce, we love you. We love you. We love you. Wah!
What have you learned about slavery today?
I've learned that it's like cruel. It's cruelty, and if I was a slave, I wouldn't know what to do.
What would you say to William Wilberforce if he was still here today?
I'd tell him that he's a good man, and I'd thank him for everything he's done. If you was a politician today, how would you stop slavery?
It's very bad to be, and if you was a real slave in real life, you'd hate it.
How would you stop it though?
I'd give the message to the world, put it on all radio stations and everything, spread it to the world.
What was it like to be on a slave ship? It'd have been rocky and you'd been fed up and you'd been all squashed up because there's no room because there'd be loads of slaves on it. During this week I've learned that slavery was a bad thing to do. William Wilberforce stopped it and the politicians helped him, but also I've learned how to pronounce the difficult words like all like melodies and vices prescribed by law and stuff like that. And I've also learned that you don't just need to stop it by just saying stop. You have to push people to stop. This week I've been doing many things about William Wilberforce. In the play I've acted out being Hannah More, one of the politicians, and helping William Wilberforce abolish slavery. I have also learned that people who are slaves have a very difficult life getting through things, and the slave owners should be stopped straight away. It's not fair. This week I have been doing a play about William Wilberforce and how he abolished slavery. I've learnt that slavery is cruel, and if you see someone doing it, you should stand up for what's right and stop it.
I've enjoyed acting out, and what I've learned is William Wilberforce was born in Hull and he abolished slavery, but the slavery still goes on.
We've been performing our play so that it's perfect when we do it for the audience, and I've learned that William Wilberforce was the person that abolished slavery, and it doesn't happen that often, but it happens in some countries. And I've enjoyed doing the play and learning all about slavery. I've really enjoyed doing the drama and the music and playing the part and singing the songs.
William Wilberforce is the man who abolished slavery, and I've learned
that he lived in Hull and he was in the Parliament and he was against the merchants, and I've enjoyed doing my act as a child, modern day child, and I've enjoyed it all.
If you was in the situation in Africa, how would you handle it?
If I was in the situation in Africa, it's like hard to ask, but I'd handle it like William did, try to stop slavery, and I'd help him. That's how I'd handle it.
How would you feel if you was William Wilberforce?
I'd feel, if my law got passed and I was William Wilberforce, I'd feel proud, and I'd be proud of all my Clapham colleagues that helped me get through it.
Did you have a good time doing drama?
Yeah, because drama is one of the things I'm going to think about doing when I'm older.
What would you do if you was a slave? Would you be angry or would you fight back?
I would fight back because I wouldn't like being a slave and I wouldn't like getting it, so I'd punch him and go mad.
How did William Wilberforce abolish it though?
It didn't stop fighting until he won.